Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Venue Coach. Today's episode, I want to talk about tours, and specifically a couple of tours that I had over the weekend and how they went and what the results were, and just share some of the insights that I have on that. So, high level, I had 3 tours over the weekend. Keep in mind, I don't do tours personally that much anymore. Why I was doing them is my manager is on vacation for the week, and I am filling in to make sure that things still continue to move forward. So, first, the handoff. I followed up, I read the notes, made sure that I was prepared for them to show up. I knew their names, and even though some of them brought children or an extra parent or what have you, I still knew the couple's names, and that is very nice. Next thing is I prepared the space. So the first 2 were while a wedding was getting set up, and I actually really love giving tours during that time because they get to see what the space starts to look like and watch it kind of in its transformation stage. So they can envision it a bit more and see themselves in that moment instead of just seeing an empty hall with tables and chairs set up and that sort of thing. So that's really nice. And then the last piece, on the next day after the party, I cleaned up a little bit, and our cleaner hadn't gotten there yet, so I tidied up. I set one of the tables up so that it would be presentable and something we could sit at, and then explained, hey, that we had a party the night before, and pardon the mess. And people typically don't mind when it's, so early in the morning and after a big event like that. So it's not a big deal. Now the next thing of note, I got drinks ready, so water bottles and soda as available and as required. It's hot here in Texas, so I give that to them right at the beginning. I also offer more as we go throughout the tour. Then, so that's my preparation. I prepared and got ready, and then I prepared our little gifts that we give them and got those ready, and then they showed up and we started doing the tour. So the big thing of note here is I follow the same thing that I tell you on this podcast, the same thing that I tell my coaching clients, is the same thing that I practice when I give tours, which is not all that often, but it works. It works if you just do it. And so the 4 key areas. 1, build rapport. Ask them about themselves. Ask them how they met, how they got engaged. Tap into that emotion. Tap into the feeling of love that they have for each other. They probably recently got engaged, or they've been together a while. They've just decided to make a huge commitment, and we want to reinforce that and tap into the feelings that they're feeling for each other. So that's rapport building. Next, why are they there? Why are they on the tour? They are on the tour because they are ready to pick a wedding venue. They are ready to make a decision. That's why they drove to your venue, sometimes driving hours to come to your venue. And so they are ready. That shows high intent. The next thing that we want to do is convey value. So it's what we're offering at the venue. It's the experience that they're going to enjoy, the feelings that they're going to feel, the way we're going to take care of them. That is the most valuable thing that they're going to experience. I've seen couples turn down venues that are absolutely stunning because they had a terrible experience on the tour and did not feel confident that they would be taken care of. So we want to convey not just the value of the offer that we're offering, like and linens and tables and this and that and this add-on and that add-on and whatever. Of course, we want to talk about those and highlight those, but we also want to convey the value that we will bring to them to help their day be magical outside of those physical things. So that is step 2. Step 3 is staying on topic, staying on track. Why are they there? They are at the tour to make a decision, to get a sale, to get a sale. They're at the venue to make a decision and to do the tour. So let's not get sidetracked and start talking about things that don't matter. Very common things, very common sidetrack things, is talking about outside vendors. It's one thing to say, hey, we allow outside vendors and we have a great preferred vendor list, than it is to say, oh, so-and-so is our vendor and blah, 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 and this is what they charge and this and that and the other. Are you selling for the vendor? Or are you trying to get them to book your venue? Sometimes that just really confuses me because they're here for the tour and you're trying to sell them on some vendor. And it just really is bizarre because it takes the focus off of why they are there. It's distracting and it has no place in your tour. If you want to then upsell, maybe you have a relationship with that vendor, maybe it's your own catering or something like that. If you want to offer that after they've booked, do it. If you need to mention that, like I had a client that does the catering and so obviously they want to mention that they have in-house catering options, do that. But don't let that become the focus because they haven't booked yet. It's not time to talk about vendors. It's not time to talk about those things. It's not to say that the conversation is wrong. It's to say that everything has its time and place, and you're putting things out of order when you start trying to sell vendors when they haven't even booked you. So don't get distracted. That's the most common distraction item that I've seen when listening to people's tours, is getting distracted with vendors, upsells, all these other options. Like for instance, we have our bar, and our bar, if somebody wants to have alcohol, it is a discussion that needs to be had because they need to be able to get all of the facts for making that decision because we force them to buy our alcohol. They don't have a choice. So if they want to book with us, that is a determining factor in them booking. But if it is something that is not forced upon them and is just an add-on or a nicety or an outside vendor relationship, that sort of thing, then leave it be and let them know that it's just high level. I'm talking 60,000 foot overview where it's, hey, we have some great partnerships with these vendors. We can get you some good prices. If that's the way you want to go, we can talk about that later. And I would leave it there. Last thing that we do, the very most important thing to the whole tour is, and you fail the tour if you don't do this thing, is asking them for the sale. If you ask for the sale, you will get more sales if you aren't asking them it right now. One of the most common questions and ways to end a tour, the most common that I hear across the board is, okay, well, if you have any questions, just let me know. And then you let the people leave. They say, okay, we will, and then they peace out. And then there you are, feeling like you just had a great tour and thinking that they're going to book when they need help making a decision. And instead of helping them make a decision, you just gave them more questions and more things to think about. So if you are the one selling the venue, if you are doing the tours, and this is owners or managers, it doesn't matter. Your job is to help them make the decision, the right decision. And what's the right decision? Them booking with you. So if you're not helping them do that, then you are not doing your job properly. And I'll say that again. If you are not helping them make the decision to book your venue, then you are not doing your job properly. So asking for the sale is part of the job. And it shouldn't be awkward. It doesn't, like, remember, they are there. Actually, the data shows across hundreds of tours that couples are booking on average within 5 to 7 days of their tour. So when they come out to tour, they are booking within a week, more often than not. That's the average time. And we actually convert half of all of our tours on the spot or within 1 day, 24 hours. And so half of that is on the spot, is within 24 hours. And then the rest is within a week, or the majority is within 7 days, because we've seen that it's like 5-ish days that is on average. And so that's if you're asking the question. I don't know the data for if you're not asking the question, but I can tell you it's a lot longer and a lot lower conversion. You definitely don't get as many on-the-spot bookings. And oh boy, you're just setting yourself up. You're letting them walk away without making the right decision. And it's not to say be pushy, be forceful or anything like that. That's not what we're doing. And I hear from clients, oh, I don't want to sound like a salesman. Well, first of all, what does that even mean? Like, what do you mean when you say that? Do you mean like a car salesman who is being obnoxious, won't give you the price, has to walk back and forth between the office and you, and it takes 4 hours and they're holding you hostage while they try to just break you down to make a deal? Then yeah, don't do that. But if you don't, like, I don't know what you mean when you say that. And so what I hear when I hear I don't want to sound like a salesperson is I am too scared to ask for the sale. That's what I hear. And there's no reason for it if you just keep in mind that they are there because they want to make a purchase. They're ready to spend thousands of dollars within the week. That's a very high intent. They are ready to spend thousands of dollars within the week, or at least commit to spend thousands of dollars within the week, if they find the right place. So why not ask them if you are the right place and get them to book? So if you are not asking for the sale, hey, seems like this is a good fit. You guys ready to book today? Such an easy question. And that's actually what I used all 3 times. Actually 2 of the 3. I used that and they said yes. And they booked on the spot. I got 2 out of 3 to book on the spot. The third one, the context was off, and you got to read the room. And they had mentioned that they were trying to decide within the week, that they were waiting to hear this other thing, and that they were wanting to, weigh their options, and they still needed to review whether it was going to be a Saturday or Friday. So they weren't quite ready to make the decision, so it wasn't appropriate for me to ask if they were ready to book at that point in time. So instead of asking for the sale on getting the actual booking, I asked for the date hold deposit. And it took a little bit of back and forth, but we got the date hold deposit. So 2 out of 3 booked on the spot. They already paid their deposits, like already done, booked. The third one, date hold deposit, they should actually be calling me today to say whether they want to book or not, and I am fairly certain that they're going to, because they want to book our venue. So 2 out of 3, 66% conversion. I'm going to do another tour today. My manager gets back tomorrow, so I'm going to go do another tour today, and I'm going to do the same things. I'm going to follow the same pattern, and we back it up. The only way you can speak with conviction while you're doing the tours is if you're actually providing an excellent experience to your guests. So evaluate why it is that you're hesitant to ask for the sale. If it's just because you're nervous, get over it. You got to practice it. You got to get over it. If there's something underlying there that is more like you're not confident that you're actually providing a valuable or good experience to your couples, then maybe you need to reevaluate how you fulfill your services for your guests. And let's get conviction up a bit on that. So, all that to say, I follow the pattern. We don't have a set script because everybody's different. But we follow the same pattern as we do the tours, and it achieves very consistent results across the board. At both of my venues, my managers achieve 60% or higher conversion rates. And that has remained true while continuing to book on average 9 to 10 a month. And so we book 9 to 10 events a month, and we consistently are converting in the 60th percentile. And so every 3 that comes in, 2 of them are going to book. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 1, but on average, it's 2 out of 3. So I hope this was helpful for you. It's not difficult, or rather, it's not easy. It's simple. I'm getting like tongue-tied on this. It's simple. It's not easy, but it takes practice. Once you practice it a bunch, it gets easier. You just feel awkward doing it because you haven't really practiced it. So, anyways, to wrap up, to achieve higher conversion rates, we have to do the things that are more likely to produce those results. And over the long run, as you do that, you will see better results. And it's, again, I'll wrap it up. Four key components of a tour. The anatomy of a tour. 1, build rapport. 2, build value. 3, don't get sidetracked. 4, ask for the sale. That you follow those 4 things and never forget to ask for the sale, you will get more sales. And I am confident in that. So if you found this useful, please subscribe, share it with somebody who might benefit from it, and stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you there.